Why? I'm sure you're asking, why would you even do this?
Do you want to learn how to do a cash flow forecast for your business on your own? Then this is for you. This special episode is brought to you by Thrive Financial Coaching, from surviving to thriving.
Hi there, and welcome to the Leaky Bucket podcast. I'm your host, Ian Morgan, and this is the financial performance podcast for entrepreneurs looking to get a better understanding of their numbers, to plug the leaks in their business, and to move from surviving to thriving. Welcome. So today, this is all going to be about how to get started in doing cash flow forecasting. Now, this is not this is how you must do cash flow forecasting. It's a prescriptive method, and it is not the be all and end all perfect method. This is the version 1 method so that you actually get started. Okay. Now, there's a few things you're going to need. And if you don't have them, listen to me, pause and go get them. You need access to your business bank account, bank statements for the last 2 to 3 months. Okay. If you don't have them, go get them now. Hit pause, go get them. Right. I'm assuming you've now managed to go and get your business bank statements for the last 2 to 3 months. You're going to need those in a moment. Let's park them and place them to one side. First of all, here are the areas. We have got realistically 3 key steps that you're going to follow. Step 1. Step 1 is all about predicting your income. Now, for some businesses, this is going to be really simple and easy. Other businesses, massively more challenging, right? But what you need is a science, a methodology, some kind of logical approach. Now, if you take our business, which is effectively a subscription model business that works on a monthly repeating pattern, predicting our income is far, far easier. We have a little bit, maybe 2 to 3% per month that's unpredictable income. But other than that, we know where we're going to stand pretty much each month. So ours is nice and simple and straightforward. And if you've got one of those, it's going to be a nice, great, easy task for you. If you don't have a predictable business, then you're going to have to use information from the past to try and help you predict the future. Now, again, this isn't as scientific, but it's the best information you got. So what are you going to be doing going forward that means that you're going to be able to say you're going to have X amount of income in this particular week, month, or whatever? Now, in terms of the timescales we're looking over, if you want to keep it simple, all we're going to predict is 3 months. Okay. 3 months. That's it. And the reason for only doing 3 months is if you go much further, the accuracy can certainly drop off. If you can see alarm bells within a 3-month period, then you pretty much know that further on is going to be a bit of a challenge. Things are going good. That's all right. But we just keep our finger on the pulse and watch how that goes as it goes. And the other angle, I suppose, is that you're not gonna do weeks. In my view, weeks in businesses today, it's too lumpy. You're going to have an up and a down and an up and a down. You want it over the course of a month, because most things that we do, most things we operate on, work on monthly cycles. If weekly in your business is a far more normal pattern, then do a 13-week one, right? But 13 weeks and looking through it and getting all the time in right, it does make it complex. Okay, do it based over a month. You're making sure that realistically start month and end month balances are good, and you should know what your maximum costs are, and hopefully you're not going to go below that balance. Okay, so predicting income. Once you've worked out what your historic looks like and how you're going to use that to predict your future, or that you know what your current recurring revenue models are, simply place them in a couple of areas. So firstly, normal business. Then you want business that you're going to lose. So if you're a repeating model business, are you going to retain everybody? Probably not. Who are you going to lose? How much? And how much is that going to cost you? How much are you going to get from existing clients in terms of new work orders, upgrades, and so on? And then what are you going to get from any new business that you win that wasn't in the business already? Okay. All of that should give you an adjusted income for each month. And that's simple. Okay. So you've just got existing income, lost income, new income from existing clients, new income from new clients. And that's it. If you're not a repeating business model, like I say, this is probably all going to be new income from new clients. That's pretty much it. Okay. Then we're on to point 2. Point 2 is predicting your delivery cost. Okay. That's not driving a vehicle around and going delivering stuff. It is the cost of you being able to deliver what people have bought. Okay. Now, if you're a product-based business and somebody's bought off you a calculator, then what's your cost of being able to get a hold of the calculator and get it delivered to the customer? They may have paid £15 for it. Maybe you managed to buy it for £3. It costs you £3 to deliver it. It costs £6. Plus maybe the cost of somebody, the person who's in the packing and shipping department. They need to be able to be paid. So there's that cost to include as well. If you are a service business like ours, our cost of delivery is the cost of the main software that the clients use. So for our case, it's 𝒂 and 𝒂. They're the main ones. Then it's the cost of our staff who are delivering those services. Okay. That gives us the cost of delivery, and it gives us effectively a gross profit, but it's a gross cash flow at this stage, right? If you were literally going to operate on the most simple of methods, then it's this level of income and these level of delivery costs. That gives us this outcome. Now, when you're looking at delivery costs, it is the bare basics of what's required. Okay. I don't want you to get any fancier than that, because point 3 in a moment, we're going to look at other costs and we're going to split them into 2 areas. But we can't deliver what we do without 𝒂 and 𝒂 and our delivery team. Okay. Now we're on to 3. And point 3 is where your bank statements come in. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go through your bank statements for the last 2 to 3 months. And I want you to have 2 colored highlighters or pens. Or if you don't, you just have 1 pen. We're just going to be able to mark things in 2 different ways. One's going to get stars, one's going to get circles. Okay. But you need something that can clearly stand out. Now, what you're going to need to do is basically go through each item that goes out of the bank. If it's gone to you, okay, that's separate because that's for you. But if it's going out to pay for something, whether that's maybe it's paying for rent, maybe it's paying for some software, maybe it's paying for accountancy services, maybe it's paying for some legal services or HR, maybe it's paying for your mobile phone, whatever, you're going to label one of 2 things. Either this cost is essential and necessary for the business, or this cost is an optional, nice to have luxury. Okay. That's the only 2 options. Essential, optional. And now what we're going to aim to do is list these in 2 separate sections. Your essential costs, your optional costs. Why? Why? I'm sure you're asking, why would you even do this? And this is the reason. Too many business owners disassociate the business money with their own money. Rightly so, it's not your money. Yeah. However, very, very easy to spend money that isn't yours. So what we're going to do is we're going to change things up and go, if you've got these essential costs to running your business, to maintain the standards and the quality that you want, then what we're left with is these optional costs. But we're not going to have the equation being income, less delivery costs, less essential costs, less optional costs leaves me. Well, I'm left to pay. No. Okay. You don't go at the end. Okay. Your pay comes before optional costs. Okay. So if you have 10,000 of income, spend 5,000 on delivery, spend 1,000 on then your essential costs, you're left with 4,000. If you want 3,000 out for yourself, now you've got a choice. The 1,000 that's left is the excess. Do you want to bring in some of those optional costs because you think they add value? Or do you want to maintain that you can have 4,000? Also goes the other way. If you ended up with 3,000 as your answer, but you haven't put any optional costs in, now it becomes the case to go, oh, if I'd like to put one of the optional costs in, and let's say it costs £500 per month. What you mean I've got to let go and reduce £500 of my income? Oh, now that puts a different twist on it. Is that really worth it? And it brings back that close relationship between you as the business owner and the business owner. Okay. So just to recap. First of all, predict your income only for the next 2 to 3 months, or 13 weeks if you particularly want to go week. Then predict the delivery costs in order to deliver that level of income. Make sure this is all realistic as well. Then thirdly, you're going to review your historic costs from your bank statement, and you're going to split them between necessary or essential and optional. The necessary will get listed first, then what you'd like to have, then your optional costs. But you need a total after each section. Yeah. So if you go, it's income less delivery costs equals total, less essential costs equals total, less what I would like equals total, less my optional cost. So you can see how it builds out from each stage. And then all you do add at the bottom is you go, what's my opening bank balance at the start of the next month? What's my movement going to be based on my predictions? Therefore, what's my closing bank balance going to be? Next month, same process. Starting is the same as the ending for last month. The movement is the movement in the month. The ending is the starting plus or minus the movement. And that's it. It's simple, it's straightforward, doesn't overcomplicate it, gets you started. If you can start it now, you can always make improvements and create version 2, version 3, version 4 later. Don't let it hold you back. Don't be scared of it being wrong, and don't be scared of the results. You need to be able to predict your future. If you don't know what's coming, you can't avoid it. So get doing your cash flows.
Special thanks to Thrive Financial Coaching for sponsoring this episode. If you want to take your business to the next level, hop on Thrive's Profit Amplifier quiz. Answer 15 questions and they'll send you a personalized report for your business growth. You'll find the link in the description below.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Leaky Bucket podcast. I'd love it if you could help spread the message by clicking subscribe and leaving a review. Also, please do reach out to me on LinkedIn and let me know your thoughts on this episode. You can also find more info and links in the show notes below. See you next time.